Hello.
Welcome.
I'm sorry we're late because of me.
No worries. We forgive you, Kate.
I'm figuring out how to have a car in Miami Beach is not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. Definitely. I thought she was walking, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm looking for parking." I'm like, I think we're gonna be late. It's all good. It's all good. You just moved to the beach yesterday?
Yeah, I just moved to Sonia's neighborhood yesterday. So I'm actually within walking distance, but I had to move my car, so I thought I'll drive and move it somewhere close, but no, it did not happen. I did find a place eventually, but it was quite a mission.
No, it's been an interesting few weeks. I have to say, it's funny because, because after Kansas City, I got sick and had a cold and you immediately the old programming is what did I do wrong or whatever, I overscheduled all that, but really just coming back to the acceptance that actually getting sick is nothing bad, it's just your body kind of detoxing and cleansing and upgrading. I like to think of it as up-leveling and but it's so easy to be hard on yourself and hard on yourself because I didn't want to do anything Monday and Tuesday, and I'm what is wrong with me? Why do I feel so depressed or whatever? And I'm still not 100%, and that's okay. And I think, I think just realizing we're human and all these things that go wrong are not, not a punishment or anything bad, and it's okay to experience the lows, because if you don't experience the lows, how are you going to experience the highs and appreciate them? So.
And I think we're just we're taught that especially I feel almost more so if you're into healing or health or wellness, you're I should never get sick. I mean, I'll speak for myself. I used to be why am I sick? That's a sign that I'm not a healthy person and I'm failing. And then when you understand what sickness is, actually, when we're sick, that's a sign that our immune system is functioning properly, and that it's like you said, detoxing and upgrading and giving us the new genetic codes that we need to be healthy and to deal with, whatever's in our environment or whatnot. So, I think there can be so much judgment around being sick, and then also so many people for this full moon have been talking about how they've been feeling so emotional and feeling all these really heavy emotions and stuff, and that can be a thing I need to be high vibe all the time and super happy, or else there's something wrong, I'm doing something wrong, or I'm being punished, you know?
Yeah, definitely. There's so much judgment that comes up. And I was also experiencing all these emotions. I wasn't feeling well physically. I had my period, all that stuff. I'm just but it's all ultimately okay, and just coming back to the knowledge that no, you won't feel like that forever, because when you're in it, you're oh my god, my life is terrible. And I for the past few months I have been relatively high vibe, things have happened here and there. And I got kind of used to that, and then once you experience a dip, you're gonna be oh my god, what's going on? But it's also being a coach and feeling we always have to show up in our highest vibe to serve our clients or whatever, but sometimes maybe it's better to show up as you are, right? Be authentic, so
I think that's so true. I don't know, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago I had this realization that actually being more vulnerable and sharing more of the hard things I was going through was actually helping my business, because it was actually connecting me with people, because I didn't realize how unrelatable I had been being by trying to be perfect Kate Paradise all the time, nothing bad's ever happening, but it was not true, all kinds of things were happening because I'm human and they always happen. And when I was able to more like talk about my struggles and be more real about them and more authentic about them, it actually helped me like grow my community and like find so many more soulmate clients than prior in my business. It was like a total breakthrough that I had.
Yeah.
And it was right around when I met you, actually, because I remember we met at an event with Tara Marino. I don't know if you guys know Elegant Femme, but we both had like done coaching with Tara, and we went to one of her live events, and it was like super amazing in like La Jolla, which is like my favorite part of San Diego. And we were roommates at the hotel we were staying at, and I was doing a Shine Online Go Live challenge.
Yeah,
it was like one of the very first ones I ever did.
Yeah.
And I was like, had been sharing for the first time in my business about like a lot of my struggles and like about how like I had, you know, hadn't figured everything out, and like just all these like really vulnerable things which I'd never done before. But it was like amazing how it like attracted like so many women, and so many women were like going live and telling their stories, and it just like created so much connection that I hadn't experienced, and ultimately sales in my business as well, that I had not experienced up to that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
really powerful.
Little tangent there.
Well, and I think like, you know, something that we think, because we have all these tools for healing, self-healing, you know, even with like Psych K, I've been like, you know, balancing or checking, you know, because I muscle test whether my subconscious believes certain things, and like it believes that my body heals itself quickly and easily, and it believes all these things, but I'm still experiencing this. So there must be, like, we forget about this mystery, because we think like if we're like health coaches or whatever coaches, like, yeah, we'll never get sick, and like we can always be in this high vibe place because we have all the tools. But there is still a mystery of maybe why we need to experience these things. Well, obviously because we're human, and, you know, to have like still compassion for people, like we're not gonna ever become robots, hopefully. And just understanding that maybe some things we don't know why they need to happen, and that is like the mystery and the beauty of life. And anyway.
Yeah, it's true though, and like there's always like a lesson that you learn, or like an aha that you have, if you're aware and like open to it, that maybe, you know, the struggle is the only way that lesson could get through to you, you know, because if everything was like perfect all the time, you'd have no empathy for other people, and like you wouldn't get these lessons that can really help you, you know. So we chose to come here and have this human experience.
Yeah, exactly. So and definitely like my, I mean, it wasn't pleasant struggling with depression for like a lot of time, a few years ago, but like it definitely helped me try all these different tools to try to heal myself, and have compassion for people going through tough things, even though like their life might seem like, oh well, like everything's fine in your life, like why would you feel depressed? Because like people used to tell me that. I'm like, well, I'm still going through something.
Sometimes there's not a logical reason, you know, or like sometimes it's just like when I was dealing with my depression, like it had to do with a brain injury, it had to do with a couple different things, but that compounded it. And it was like, a lot of people would have looked at my life and been like, like what? You're, you know, entitled white girl, what are you doing feeling depressed? But like we all go through it, and to not judge those low points. Like sometimes like I'll have so many emotions come up and I'll feel really sad or like really emotional, and it won't even necessarily be triggered by something. It's just like coming up, and we have to like make it mean something. And sometimes it's just, you know, or just like the ebb and flow, the cycle of life that we're going through, and it's okay.
Well, and from the human design perspective, I mean, we're both open emotional, so we're just kind of picking up a lot of stuff. So sometimes it's not even our stuff that we're feeling, and that's why it's so important to like not get so attached and like try to explain why we're feeling the way we're feeling, just being like, you know, an objective observer. And whether you are open emotional, if you have your own emotional wave, it's the same thing, just like not over identifying and trying to be like, oh, this is why I feel this way, because, you know, whichever way you are in human design, it's still like I mean, obviously you have some control over it, but when you can stop fighting the down, that's when like magic happens, because you can just be like, okay, I feel low, I feel depressed, like I don't want to do anything, and I'm gonna let myself, you know, like if you can be gentle with yourself during that process, then you'll probably move out of it more quickly and more gracefully, you know. So.
Yeah, and the idea of being able to be with your emotions, even like the hard ones, not avoid them, not try to like distract with like TV or drugs or alcohol or any other like addictive behavior.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm dying. Do you have any water now?
I have some here, but you know, I mean, we're not really into the germ theory here, so you can have my water.
I have your water. I need your water. I need water.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a big, and we don't even realize like how much like our society teaches us to numb,
yeah. Avoid that. If it's uncomfortable, just avoid it. Just like find something to like cover it up and make you feel like okay or make you feel different. Right. And like a practice that I've been trying to do is like, even if it's just for like 30 seconds or a minute, like can I just feel it and like just breathe through whatever I'm feeling. It doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't even have to be attached to a story. Just like the physical emotion in my body. Like, what does that feel like? And sometimes it's really uncomfortable. But then it's like, from that situation, it's like, then it's almost like you're like from the German New Medicine perspective, it's like your emotional threshold. You're almost like raising it. So then it's like, when other stressful things come into your life, it's like not as big of a deal. Because you're like, I can be with I can be with stress, I can be with pain, I can be with discomfort, and I'm gonna be okay. Like, so it like you're less triggered by things, I feel like, and you're less like all over the place with your emotions, because you're kind of just like, things will come up and you're like, okay, I can handle this, you know? It's really actually really empowering.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I had a client call today, and one of the things that came up, it's like, well, that we balance that she is her own best friend, and like she really,
I love that.
And I was like, I really want you to be nice to yourself, you know, because we can get into this like self-criticism of like, oh yeah, I feel this way, and yeah, that means that I'm failing or not doing a good job or whatever.
Yeah. So much.
And I feel like, yeah, if we can just be really like nice to ourselves, a lot of the stuff, because I think like also when I experienced depression, it was because I thought that I should be different than I am. Like, you know, before I knew human design, like I was like, I'm all over the place, like I can't be linear, I can't fit into this box that I should fit into, and like all that self-judgment, you know, made me depressed and made me like, well, kind of more stuck there.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously human design has been like so impactful in transforming that, whereas like, oh, you know, I'm actually okay. The way I like naturally am is okay. It's just that the world has told us that that's not an okay way to be.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So here in Paradise Downloads, we're all about deprogramming everything the world has told you, setting yourself free from all of those like limitations and all those rules, so that you can just be your true authentic self.
Yeah, and that's why I love my clients who get human design readings for their children, because I'm like, oh, like they won't have to like decondition as much, because they'll be
I wish I could have had a human design reading as a child. That would have been like amazing.
And like their parents learning about their design, so they like actually, you know, parent them
differently.
Yeah, like that's I'm like, wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, I had so much programming of like, just being like changing my mind, not being consistent, not showing up and doing the same thing. Because everyone in my family is like very much like, they know what they're gonna do and they just stick with it for like 10 years. And then there's Kate, who's like all over the place. And then when I got my human design reading, I was like, oh, I'm supposed to like change my mind all the time. This is amazing, like, because I have been, and it's been something I've been judging myself for so many years.
Yeah, I don't think like a lot of people, and like just live according to these expectations that others have of them, and how their lives should look like. And I definitely subscribed to that for a while, but then I became depressed, and I'm like, oh, is it really worth it to feel this way if trying to fit into, I mean, those people who think they're gonna be happy if you, like, for me, would they be happy had I like gone to med school and like gotten married and bought a house? Probably not. They would find something else to complain about.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
So, but we don't even realize, like, I think a lot of people don't even realize how they're just, fulfilling these expectations. And it's like, getting really in touch with what, authentically is, your soul wants and what you want to experience. Anyway.
We're having a very deep, like, esoteric.
I know. It's really interesting. And, and it's funny because I definitely have a tendency to, like, want to hide when I don't feel super high vibe. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go live because, like, maybe when I feel better. And today I was like, I don't really want to go live. But then, like, it's so important to just show up as you are. And, and that really reinforces the message to yourself that you are worthy no matter,
no matter what.
How you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what's going on. So
yeah, you can receive, you can be worthy, even if you're feeling tired and low vibe and like all this stuff. Like earlier today, I was feeling so exhausted. I did 2 yoga nidras back to back, basically like a constructive nap. And then just like laid around for like another hour after that. And then I ended up like actually doing some work and stuff. But it was like, I was like, part of me was like, why are you so tired? And then I was like, I don't know, you're just tired, whatever. It's just is what it is. Like, take care of your body, like don't judge it.
Yeah, it could be so many, and we get into this whole, like, it could be the full moon, or maybe it's what I ate, or I didn't sleep enough.
Yeah, and then it's just like, it's like, that just wastes even more energy, like, analyzing why you don't have energy. It's like, just do what your body needs, like, give it what it's asking for. I just drank lots of water, put on lots of aloe vera on my skin, because I was in the sun a lot yesterday, and then I did a bunch of yoga nidra, then I felt a lot more like balanced. It was good.
Yeah, self-care. I mean, that's why I also do breath work every day, because I'm like, it just brings me back to center.
Yeah.
And whatever that is for you. Yeah. So I think, also, even here in Florida, it's funny, like, I do feel the season changing, because it's been like super windy, and like usually I love being at the beach. And I go like every day. But yeah, like the last few days it's been like so windy, and the ocean has been so rough. I'm like, I don't even really want to be at the beach.
I know, it's really, it's kind of stormy for Florida.
Yeah,
like it's been different. I felt it too.
So, and just like letting go of summer, because I love summer. It's trendy.
Well, it's kind of like a little bit of an endless summer here, luckily for you.
A little bit. And I'm heading to North Carolina actually next week, so that will be a lot chillier. I'm doing the Divine Integration Retreat for Psych K.
That's so exciting.
So yeah, after you complete Advanced in Psych K, they gift you this retreat. So you pay for like lodging and food, but other than that, it's free, or however much you want to donate. So yeah, and I'm like, a little bit, every time you expand into something new, there's this like, do I really want this? There's a bit of fear or resistance that shows up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I know it's gonna be expansive, so.
It's so exciting.
So yes.
Yeah, and we haven't even talked about it, but me and Sonia had a live event that was like so amazing. It was this last weekend. Stay tuned. We're thinking of having another one. We haven't had time to discuss it.
Right. After this.
Yeah, but we, it was amazing. It was just all the tools that we always talk about in these Paradise downloads, like all the yoga nidra and Psych K and human design, a little bit of human design, and we did some Kundalini yoga and some visualization and some visioning and getting clear about our desires. And it was just really, I felt like it was just amazing and like so fulfilling to like have an in-person experience after like so many months, over a year of like nothing in person. For me, at least, like me hosting an event. So I thought it was so fun.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, you know, like, yeah, I used to teach more Kundalini yoga. I don't as much. But it was like kind of the first event where, you know, like a longer one. And it was super exciting for me. And I got to share the breathwork practice for the first time and hold space for that. So that was really great. And right after, even though I was like dealing with my cold and my cycle, I was like, let's do it again, because it's I think we do create a magical space. Someone mentioned that we created like a very safe space, and I think that was so stay tuned. Let us know if you would be interested in potentially December, we're thinking.
Yeah, like come to Florida where it's gonna be warm and get away from your cold environment and come into our safe healing space where we're raising your vibration and helping you find balance and healing and releasing self-judgment and stepping into your fullest potential. All these amazing, it was really, I loved it. I thought it was really good. And all the girls were like, loved it. I don't know, it was amazing.
No, it was, everything was just magical, except for the mosquitoes, but we will, next time we will plan for the mosquitoes.
We're gonna pre-plan.
Because I had quite a few bites.
Did you?
But it was, you know, it was worth it. That was a meditation in itself.
I will not react to the mosquitoes.
Right. That is a test of.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, so definitely would love to do that again. And so and we'll also perfect the live stream. I mean, it was good. I think, you know, just every time you do something, like the next time it's better. So
there's a lot of new logistics, new location, and the live stream and the live, and we're trying to get everyone happy. So I mean, I think that there's a lot of great content on that live stream. It was we weren't as focused on the live stream viewers as we were on the in-person people.
Yes. So next time maybe, just checking in. Well, we checked in with them, but yeah, we'll need to think through how to integrate it better to be
good.
A full experience for both.
Cohesive.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think exciting stuff coming up. So I guess we won't be live next week because I'll be in
North Carolina.
I'll be integrating with the divine. So yeah, I'm kind of like curious as to what I'll come back like.
So it's gonna be like just radiating like white light when she gets back.
Still human, but yes. I hope so. I mean, it's funny because when I did my Kundalini training, I thought I was gonna be enlightened, and it didn't quite go that way. But yes, I'll definitely let you know how it went, and that's why I'm like trying not to plan too much before I leave, because I'm like, you know, maybe things will shift. So
it's exciting.
Yeah, so anyways, maybe we'll see you in 2 weeks, and we'll have more updates about our next in-person or live event retreats.
And in the meantime, go to my Instagram and opt in for the Shine Online Go Live Challenge, because we're having another one in November, and I'm really excited about it. So you can find out all about it at kateparadise.com/shineonline.
Yeah, I've definitely I've done like several, maybe like 3 with Kate, and it was always, I mean, that's kind of how I started being more comfortable going live and just making videos, telling my story. So it's definitely
if you want to get visible, it's a good way to, it's a safe place to practice, because we have a private group, and if you just want to do the lives in the group and you don't do them publicly, you can just practice, which I think practice makes perfect.
Exactly. So yeah, if you have an online business or you want to promote yourself, that is a great way to practice. And And if you go to the Book Now button, you can schedule a Psych K session or a human design reading, or reach out to me about my 4-month program that I'm like so excited about. I think like, you know, one-off sessions are great, but I just think like there's so much more available if you work with someone a longer term, and I combine all of my favorite tools: human design, Psych K, coaching over Voxer. You get my breath work, my journaling practices, and all the good stuff, awareness exercises.
Yeah, and I think having all those modalities like synergistically like work together, and it's just like quantum leap energy, you know?
Yeah, it's a whole journey, and I, you know, like there's a reason why we start with human design, to like really get you in touch with your authenticity, and then you see what kind of conditioning you need to remove, what kind of beliefs you need to shift with Psych K, and then like in your daily life practicing it, and really getting support around staying accountable every day and staying aware of, you know, how you're thinking, what you're believing, how you're reacting, what actions you're taking. So yeah, it's a full experience, and yeah, so I'm really just excited to welcome more of my long-term goddesses. All right, well, I guess that's it for now. We're gonna like
for joining us. Sorry we're late.
Yeah, it's divine timing. But yeah, we're gonna go make some dinner.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. All right, see you guys soon.
See you shining.
Love you.